Happy Easter, everybody. Welcome back to MK Bakes and Bites YouTube channel. Today we are making some guava and cinnamon rolls, Bahamian style. Here you'd see me taking some room temperature butter. This would have been left out for maybe 20 to 30 minutes. And I'm just cutting off a few pieces. I'll leave all of the descriptions down below. And I would just take my spatula and basically paint it on. And you want to get this all over the dough. I am doing a separate video to show you how I would have made this dough for the cinnamon and guava roll on a later date. But I am just basically painting on the butter. We want to get this all over the whole entire dough. This would be the section what we're going to roll. So I'll just let that run for a while. You'd see what I'm doing. Spread it all over, spread it all over. Some of the pieces of butter were still a bit firm, so it kind of worked me a little hard, but I got the job done. Okay, there we go. And just stretching my dough a bit just to make sure it's all covered, no folds. Okay, now I am getting my pan. I would currently be greasing it. You must grease your pan or cover your pan with palm before you go. Alright, so here you see me, I'm sprinkling a bit of nutmeg over the dough, just for flavor. And then also going in with some cinnamon. So now I am spreading over my guava. This would have been the canned guava. The traditional way would be to use actual real guavas, but I didn't have any available, so I just purchased the canned ones, and it usually comes with the guava shells in syrup. So I would have separated my syrup from my shells, and I would have cut the shells up into little dices, and I would save the syrup for my sauce that's gonna go on top, and that would be my cream cheese sauce. So I'm just sprinkling it over, and I would sprinkle this over the whole entire dough. Some persons usually just sprinkle it to the starting of the dough, but I love my rolls with a lot of guava inside. So I sprinkle my guava dices to cover the entire dough. It's gonna make the dough a bit chunky, but that's okay. It will not affect when you're rolling it up. I'd say it would only affect it if you were to cut the chunks too big, but this size is perfect. So here you see me trying to tightly roll the dough. You don't want to roll it too big, so just make sure I roll each side, and I'm just lining up the guava to make sure I don't have any lumps. So roll, and this would have been done on a floured surface. Okay, that's my rolled dough. And what I usually cut my dough with is thick thread. Some persons cut it with a knife. I don't think that I have a knife that would be sharp enough to give me a elite cut. So I prefer to use thread to cut my dough. It gives it a perfect cut. And here you see me just sizing, measuring out to make sure I get 12 rolls. So what I would do is would just add the thread underneath the dough and then make a knot and completely sever the dough. You'll see right now. Knot underneath, make a knot, and then pull like you're gonna tie. And you don't want to cut your dough too thick, because remember, this recipe should make 12 rolls. Okay, just showing one of the rolls, nice and juicy. So now getting my greased pan, and we're going to place the rolls, line them up inside of the pan, and then we're gonna rest them to the side and allow them to rise for about 30 minutes. If you live in a hot climate, it may rise faster than that. Or what I like to do to speed up my rising process, I would place my dough or rolls inside a pan, cover it up with either plastic wrap or a towel, and I like to rest it inside the baker. The baker would be off, but I would rest it inside the baker because, you know, when there's like really hot, so that tends to speed up the rising process. So here's my grease pan. So just making sure they're structured properly inside of the pan. And this is how they would look when I'm done. And then I'm going to cover these for about 30 minutes and allow them to rise. Okay, that's them passively been risen. I put them in the baker for about 25 minutes. That's the finished product. This is after I would have put the cream cheese topping on top. The first one is the guava, the second one is the cinnamon. Thank you.